दोस्तों P&L is most important financial document of the company where a leader or a business owner or a sales manager can check and see how the company is doing. If you want to check that how your company is doing good, you need to check the P&L. And in this video we will talk about the 7 parameters. After knowing this 7 parameter, you will be able to judge that how the company is doing and what are the things the company has to improve and what are the things the company is doing good. So let's get started. So the number 1 is revenue. Most managers celebrate the revenue is like it's the final score, but leaders knows revenue is just the starting point. Revenue tells you only one thing, that how much money came into a business, and it tells you nothing about how much money stayed with you. So revenue is how much money you collect from the customer after selling the product. Now the second point is that COGS, the silent margin killer. COGS is nothing but a cost of goods sold, is the cost of producing what you sell, like raw material, manufacturing expenses, packaging, delivery. Most MSME don't track COGS daily. They only check it at a month end or when it's too late. So your raw material prices increased by 8%, for example, but your selling price stayed the same. So your revenue looks stable, but your margins is dying quietly. So when the pricing of a raw material or a COGS increase, the cost of goods sold increase, you have to increase the pricing as well in the market. Number third is gross margin. The number leaders obsess over, because the gross margin is the thing which every leader wants to check, that this is the number your MD cares about more than revenue, because margin is equal to business strength. It tells you whether your business model is healthy or a broken. Formula is simple, is that revenue minus cost of goods sold divided by revenue. For example, a manager 1 create a sale of 1 crore and his gross margin is 12%. On the other hand, manager B revenue generate कर रहा है 60 lakh का and his gross margin is 38%. So who is the best manager? Obviously the manager B, because कम सेल में भी ज़्यादा margin निकाल लेना, that is the quality of a good manager. Now number 4th is operating expenses, where most MSME bleeds money. These are your salaries, rent, marketing, admin and electricity. The cost of running the business, most MSME don't overspend and they overspend unknowingly. For example, a team spend 20,000 per month on a software subscription. No one uses that, and a small leak, but over a year 2.4 lakh rupees gone, and leader track the OPEX like a hawk. So you need to always check that what are the operating expenses are happening in the company, where we can reduce that and how we can efficiently use our money. Now number 5 is net profit, the real scoreboard. Net profit is what left after all expenses, like revenue generated, you have minus the cost of goods sold, you have minus the operating expenses, and at last what is left, that is your net profit. So this is the number investors, banks and owners look at. This is the number that decide bonuses, expansion and survival in the company. So for example, a business with 5 crore revenue, only 6 lakh rupees net profit is not a business. It's a treadmill and lot of movement but no progress. So you need to check that your net profit is also improving when the business is growing, the revenue is growing. So it is very important that your net profit should be increased. Now number 6 is cash flow. That is the oxygen of a business. Profit is just a theory. Cash flow is the reality. So you can be profitable on paper but still die because you ran out of a cash. So for example, you sold 10 lakh rupees goods, but the customer will pay you after 90 days, 120 days. Meanwhile, you must pay a salary, rent and supplies. And this is why the MSME mostly struggle. Not because of low sale, but because of late payment, slow cash. And that's why most of the business are struggling today, because of the late payment from the customer. That also you need to check, and you also do a business with the people who giving you money on time, and that's why you will be able to run your business properly. Now number 7th is working capital cycle. This is the hidden leadership metrics which you need to check. This is how long your money stays stuck in inventory, production and receivable. The shorter the cycle, the stronger the business. If your cycle is 90 days and you run the business on stress, and if your cycle is 30 days, that means you run the business on a strategy. So this is very, very important. Now manager focus on tasks, leaders focus on the numbers. If you want to grow in your career, track this 7 number every month: revenue, cost of goods sold, gross margin, OPEX, net profit, cash flow and the working capital. So दोस्तों, thank you for watching the Informat Chamber. Let's embrace the continuity of a learning.